Okay, people, so this is the best that we got in terms of a camera. I lost the bloody thing. We got so mad. Anyway, I found it. So it is like, what, November 29th, 2018. I'm in the crunch down with the Fed trademark. I've got like another, what, 29 days? December 26th, Boxing Day. We'll try and deal with it before then. But besides that point, so what this video coming up is saving money in terms of when you find like chicken on sale for 99 cents a pound, which is very rare these days, and you know how you can make things out of it to make more meals, right? So just do a little chicken strips, and that's, I bought chicken legs at 99 cents a pound with thigh, cut off the meat, right? Do some chicken strips, whatever. So anyway, put that in there. And then it's the little house, people. It's the little house coming to an end. What you'll do is you'll see me at the house just briefly, you know, touching base. There's still a few other things I have to do there. And then, you know, I'm working in the yard, obviously, right? I got about 4 or 5 more full days outside just to get ready to winterize everything, so that after I'm done, should be about 4 or 5 days. This camera's no good. Look at that. Oh my God. You know, I'm just, this is where you have to breathe, right? And not get mad. Tell yourself, don't get mad, don't get mad, don't get mad, until you realize that you're not going to get mad over things that you can't necessarily change in the immediate. And buying a new camera is not something that's on the agenda with the immediate list. But besides that point, I just want to upload this and move along, right? So this is just an introduction to the end of the house, coming to the big machine where it's going to be smashed down into little bits and pieces, and then something else is going to be built there, to which I am being informed that whatever was initially supposed to be built there can no longer be built there, because the rules are changing within the city in terms of what they want in terms of height and, you know, how far out to the road, because now I'm being told that 132 is going to be widened on that side of the roadway. Right? So they're going to start going into people's property to build in another lane, as they're ripping out all the trees on this side to build in condensed housing that at the end of the day is unaffordable to at least 95% of the population, right? And it's just a holding bay and a sorting out bay. Hold on a minute, people. Okay, I am back. And what I've done is I've pulled out Mark Kane's camera. Remember that one? Well, apparently it can take videos. Only it doesn't have a screen that can flip so that I can see what's going on, because I normally talk right into the lens, because I try and look eye to eye to the viewer versus looking at myself as I'm talking to you, so you can kind of see my eyes going in that direction, right? In this one, there's no little flap that you can turn over and you can see that, right? So you're just kind of like got it pointed at you and away you go. So anyway, and not only that, I don't know how to use this camera. This is more like a camera, but it's a video camera as well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll get, when my son gets home, to set it up on a tripod for Andre, and we'll do a little video as an experiment, just because I want to, right? Just so I can start using this thing and maybe start phasing out this camera, because this one is completely unpredictable. I am talking, leave me alone. He's going, yes, I get to make a video. No, quiet, don't interrupt.
No, I'm saying that because I'm going to do a barbecue today.
Oh, you're going to do a barbecue today?
Yeah.
Oh, he wants to use this for a barbecue. Well, what makes you think you're going to do a barbecue?
With Mark Kane.
Did Mark Kane say he was going to do a barbecue?
Yeah, if it's not raining
today. If it's not raining today, yeah, because I've been working in the backyard clearing it out, and the fire pit's getting emptied out in there, so yeah, they can actually do a barbecue.
I told him I got a new bike too.
Oh, and he got a new bike too. So anyway, I'm going to see if my son can get... Okay, can you stay quiet, please, for a minute? Now you're being rude. You're interrupting. I don't want to drag this out. I was in the middle of a conversation. Okay. Thank you. So and then because there's no direction book for it, it's like, you know, you don't know what to do, right? So anyway, I'll fool around with this, see if we can get this one working and get better quality videos anyway, in terms of the visualization part. Maybe not so much with the editing and the pre-plan monologue and all this other crap, because it's pretty much on the fly with me. So as I was saying prior to the interruption, this little house is coming to an end. You will see that I've been bringing home a few boards, because if I don't style the vinyl, right, because, whatever, right, I put it on the internet and I got a couple of little nibbles, but not what I wanted and not what they wanted in terms of the people that were interested in the vinyl. So come spring, I'll probably put it up online, and if it doesn't sell, then we're going to go into making dog houses. So I've been collecting some... Andre? So I've been collecting some wood along the way, some beams from the little house and whatnot, so I might be able to pick up a few more beams before the actual machine comes in and smashes it. Or, once it's smashed, I can probably still drag out a few more beams, right? Bring them home, and then come spring, if the vinyl doesn't sell, then we'll make some dog houses, and we'll sell dog houses, and try and recycle the material that way, and see how well that goes. Because if one thing doesn't work, you try another thing, right? That's the way you go in life, right? If you're trying to be creative with limited resources, right? So yeah, so they're going to be widening the road over there maybe in 10 years from now, and because of that, the people that are building houses with their preset plans are now being told that you can't build that house because this is the plan 10 years ahead, and you need to change your plan. And as they're doing it on that side of the road, taking over people's property, they're coming on this side of the road through the developers and ripping down hundreds and hundreds of trees and displacing hundreds of people as they're doing it, because house by house by house displaces families, displaces individuals, and then they bring in the unaffordable housing that only maybe 5% of the population, in terms of the elderly with wealth, that are selling their homes because they're being forced out of their homes, right? Or downsizing because they want to, because they're old and they don't want to do yard work anymore. But many of them are being forced out of their homes because of the only thing that's upholding the province of British Columbia, Canada, in terms of the economy, is the flipping of house sales, right? Well, on this side of the road over here, down 132A, is Land Assembly that's acquiring more houses under that assembly that's being operated by basically one realtor that's flipping those properties 3 to 4 times a year, as the numbers of property under that land assembly is increasing. So in other words, they maybe started out with 5 houses and now they have like 14 just down this one block, and they're creeping more and more and more. So what happens is, as it's coming around the corner, houses like mine become prime targets to force my family out so they can go onto the housing market and then push it up even more, that property tax base. And eventually all these houses on this corner in here will be all ripped down to accommodate more condensed living, which at the end of the day, nobody can afford who initially lived there. Right? So we're still in that vicious cycle of genocide in Canada, because it's a form of genocide, right? And it affects multi-layers of the population. And there's only really a few key players in terms of the corruption that's around it, right? So at some point in the future, I'm going to have to just get into those wipeout boards. But people, I'm very, very busy, and life hasn't been easy for me, and I am going blind. It's getting worse, right? So I'm in denial, right? I'm in complete denial. Even when I was using the eye drops, the eye specialist was telling me, oh, well, I can't give you back your eyesight, but I can prevent you from going blind. The thing is, as I was using the eye drops, I was noticing that my eyesight was deteriorating anyway. The only thing is when I was using the eye drops, my nose was running all the time. And then I had that pressure like constantly with the, in my eyes, because I guess those machines, if you use them every 3 months, or whenever they call you in, every 3 months usually, and then they update you every 6 months, You got this pressure being pushed in from these machines, and it leaves a lasting impression with me to the point where, I got enough pressure anyway, besides that point. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing in terms of my community activism. That's only house number 1. Obviously I want house 2, 3, 4, and 5 up to 10, and then after 10 we'll see what happens. I haven't even got house 2 yet. Winter is coming. I'm going to be able to do all the bookwork on house 1. Obviously the landlord gets a copy. He's already prepared to work with me over the winter with that so that we get the numbers right. And then of course the board directors will get that copy. And then of course I'll write that fundraiser for $300,000 with a supplement for a $1 million fundraiser. So if you're going to write a $300,000, make sure you put in the $1 million so people just don't stop and think with the first, they go into the second, right? Got to give them motivation to keep moving forward, to address some of the housing crises and issues that are going out here in my province. And then I'm also going to go at some point in the next week or two up by the portables and touch base with the people out there, because for as good as these portables are in terms of getting people out of tents and off the cement, there are still quite a few numbers of homeless people that inadvertently is being blamed for them coming in from other provinces, right? And that's why they haven't been housed yet. When in fact, if you speak to the majority of them, they'll all tell you that they're residents of Surrey who've been displaced. So, it needs to be, I need to go out there and kind of like do a sweep and talk to people, touch base, see how they feel about these portables being used as temporary housing units. Because currently what's happening is in the neighborhood with the property owners, right? Their impression is the government should be solving the homeless crises, right? Whether it's stagnant or whether it just keeps creeping up, it's always, always, always the government's default responsibility to solve this problem, when in fact it's a community problem. And for people to say that just allows them to discriminate and to be bigots and to be racists against the people that were born in this country, because a large portion of the homeowners or property owners out here are of immigrant nature and not born but come from a different country here, right? To capitalize. Or who have been here for a long time through immigration, and back 40 years ago were getting incentives by the Fed government to buy homes to prevent racism from allowing them to do that, or discrimination. And then through that process, they stabilized, bought homes, and then further branched out and bought more homes to the point where it became a business where, the term slum landlords have been attached to some property owners, where those particular groups of people, because I'm not even going to call it an individual, because it's groups of people, right? Where they are discriminating against people who need housing, right? And putting the full burden on the government to house them in temporary solutions like these portables that they've got out here, which is practical in a short-term sense, but impractical on a long-term sense. So that's where I'm going to end up going over the next couple, 2-3 weeks or whatever it is. I'm going to try and get more into the legality around the politics that is shaping the province of British Columbia, Canada, and how we deal with our social issues, right? As long as well as, basic little things like, chicken strips and, stuff like that. Wait till I get into the black walnut art, right? Or Andre's video with Uncle Marcane's camera, and little Alea May. She's on this video, as a matter of fact. While I was singing to her, I don't know if I was videotaping her, but I'm going to put it in with this one as well. So I'm just going to keep it there, okay? Peace out. Pretty in pink, Alea May. She's all dressed, pretty in pink, my little granddaughter, Alea May, Alea May. Pretty in pink, my little granddaughter. She's Birdie in pink, so pretty. Alea May, Alea May, she's so pretty. Pretty in pink. Look how her mummy dresses her all in pink. Your mummy dresses you all in pink. Every time I see you, you're just a little pink pickle. Every time I see you, you're a little pink pickle. Pretty in pink, pretty in pink. Alea May, she's so pretty. Pretty in pink, pretty in pink. So pretty. Okay, people. So I'm up in this corner now. Standing on a chair. Wiping spider webs. And the walls, right? Because it's an old house. And the grease from 60 years comes out of the walls. Right? And like, I don't know how shit flies around, but it does. And I see stuff up here. You can't see it, but I can see it. Like, how the hell, I'm gonna show you. How the hell did that get up there? I'd like to know. Do you see that? Like, that's the fucking ceiling up there. How the hell, what is that? That's what I'm doing. I have to, people. I go from, like, spot to spot, corner to corner. Whether it's inside, outside, doesn't matter. Like, every day, I'm cleaning something. Mostly. I don't want that to fall out of the plant. I wash my cake pans. Before I put them back up, I want to, what do you call it? I want to wipe down the walls and stuff with spider webs and shit, right? Because if you don't, you know, they can accumulate real fast, right? Over a period of years. So every year you're wiping somewhere, you know? And because it's such a dusty house, and oh, people, this porch is getting worse. Are you serious? My goal for the day was this corner, but then I got up on that porch and, you know, because it's been raining. Oh my God. Everything's just worse. Just worse and worse. It's just getting worse. I'm gonna see if I can buy some beams. I guess next week. I'm gonna try and run a few beams up there just to as a safety measure. But it needs I don't know. It needs a whole new porch. It's needed a whole new porch ever since I moved in. Anyway, when I was younger, oh, I don't know, maybe about 8 or 9, my mother used to send me to Alberta to go see my grandfather at Christmas time. I'd go for a couple of weeks, right? And that's how I learned to wash walls. Because he had his wife, or whatever she was, common law wife, wash walls. I don't ever remember washing walls, but I remember seeing it, especially the kitchen area, right? Because you're cooking in it all the time. The grease and the steam, and, you know, if you smoke, right? Anyway, that's what I'm doing right now, and then once I'm done this corner, I'm going to take you to the X Club / greenhouse / painting room. Hold on. So, do you see? See those little spider webs? They come about real fast. I have a lot of spiders and moths in this house. But as you can see, I've scrubbed these ones down, a little bit of Vim, made them nice and shiny again. And I'm going to take those ones, take them down, finish washing the wall, and then put those back up after they're washed. And then this corner's done, right? I mean, it's not perfect, right? A leaky boat is better than no boat. That's what I'm telling myself 50 times so far, and I haven't even had half a day yet. Hold on a minute. Okay, people, so now it's November 24th. Anyway, as you can see here, I'm making breadcrumbs, right? This stuff, it dries. So, I either sometimes feed them to the raccoons, they like it, or in this case, I'm making breadcrumbs. Because I got chicken legs with the backs attached for 99 cents a pound, which is a good deal. So, what I've got is $18.23 of chicken legs, and I'm going to vacuum seal some of it, but I'm going to also make chicken strips. So that's what this video is going to be about, right? See how much we get with the money that I spent is in terms of cost saving, right? And then, hold on a minute, I want to show you something. Okay, so as I'm working on Uncle John's room here, you can see, right? Slowly but surely, I still have some food buckets in here and whatnot, right? There's all my paperwork for court and the cops and everything, but that's beside that point. Andre put this collection box up on the table. That's the thing about the non-profit people. Sometimes I make stuff like this, I put a lot of time and effort in it, and then you try and take it out to the community and all you hear is excuses. Well, we don't want it because if we put it there, you know, it's going to get robbed and, you know, blah, 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 and just like, whatever. So anyway, this is going to be just a little work area. At some point I want to get up in here and do something with them, but so what I'm trying to do here is just clear out more, right? Just try to make a bit more room so that Andre can do some art. Like for example, this here, we can make black walnut beads or English walnut beads because when you cut it in the center of the branch is a hole, right? So you can make beads with this. So anyway, you can see I'm setting them up here. This was my mother's when she was alive, which was many, many, many years ago from when I was a teenager. Here's another one because she went to Jamaica and places like that. And she brought these things home. So I'm going to do some repairs on them, you can see, because these things are, oh God, I'm what, 57? So at least 45, 40 years old. Because I remember these when I was 12, right? So that's 45 years ago, right? And brought in a couple of plants from outside, whatnot. So I just wanted to show you that, right? So hold on. Okay, so these were chicken legs with backs, right, people? So as you can see, this was from the thigh part. This was from the leg part, right? This is all for 20 bucks, less than 20 bucks, 19 bucks, less than $19. This is soup, chicken bones, 3 packs. Oops, right. Here's some fat. Right, just did it that way. I like them vacuum sealed because they just last forever like that, right? 2 of those, so when I want to cook something in fat, I can just start frying these up on very, very low, and you render the fat, and then you have it for cook with, right? And it's just better to freeze it and then use it when you need it. Here is a big pack of legs. You can see how big that is, right? And then I've got 2 smaller packs with 3 in each pack, right? And then here's the walnuts from the English walnut tree. There's 5 of them in there. 5 packs, you can see. Vacuum seal, right? And stay in the freezer for a couple, 2-3 years, right? And longer because they're vacuum sealed. So basically all that chicken for less than $18. I couldn't refuse it. And then my son got a couple bags himself, so I just vacuum sealed a couple his bags, right? He wanted them vacuum sealed. So what I'm doing here now is I'm getting tired. I'm just like so tired. I was up till like 3:30 this morning, right? Did that video on live stream. And by the time I got to sleep, I was like 3:30. And this ringing in my ears is just driving me nuts. It's like waking me up in my sleep like 3 times a night, which is not good for whatever reason. And so anyway, this is a buttermilk that I made, right? Just take some milk and put a bit of vinegar in it. And I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put some garlic salt in there. I'm going to get some hot sauce in there. I'm going to mix it around. And then I'm going to just put it in the fridge for tonight. My son might take some, but then tomorrow I'm going to make chicken strips. And I'm going to freeze them. And then some I'll probably vacuum seal, put them away. And some I'm going to eat, right? So hold on. Okay, so basically I put maybe about 4 tablespoons of 3.5 or so tablespoons of, what is it called? Garlic. I'm eating hot sauce. It's like perfume. It's my nose running. And that's homemade buttermilk, right? 3 cups. And then here's some of that hot sauce, right? And I just put a whole bunch in there. No more than a half a cup, not even that. Right, maybe a third. Now I'm putting it in the fridge. I'm going to let it just marinate for the night. And then tomorrow we're going to bread it. So hold on. Okay, people. So now it's November 25th, 2018. We brought in the big machine. There it is, people. That's the big machine. That's what's going to tear down this house. So anyway, it's actually quite extensive from my understanding in terms of where the landlords are now having to dispose of everything in compartments before they can move forward with their project. So in other words, this roofing material has to be disposed of by the landlord. I'm sorry, by the homeowner, right? Before the house can even be torn down. If you notice, somebody came in here and took all that, what is it called? This stuff right here, off the walls, right? The soffits are down, so I'm going to be gathering up these soffits, right, as much as I can. And even the metal has to be removed before they tear down the house. So what little metal was left, right? What little metal that was left in here, the landlord took it and cashed it in and got $67. And that was after the house was coppered, because it was being coppered by thieves in the neighborhood that were taking a bit here and a bit there. But ultimately, not everything was taken. The landlord also has to sort through this pile and take out the rugs and the plastics and all of that stuff and dispose of it himself, people, right? And so he's gone off to the shelter over there to hire a couple of guys, right, to help him with this, because, you know, they want to do whatever they need to do tomorrow with the big machine. So it just gets more and more and more expensive to demolish a house, right? And that cost is going on the property owner. Anyway, we'll be back. Hold on. Let's see. Getting windows. It's my son and Edgar. Getting a pipe. These are good to have if a pipe breaks in the house. Oh, look at that. It goes all the way up and out.
Oh my God.
That's a long one.
Yeah.
So, how you gonna get out? Yeah.
I don't know yet.
He's gonna figure it out here in a minute.
Hey, Edgar.
All right, you the king. busting into his own house. Look at that, people.
Yeah.
It's nice and clean in here. Look at that. Wow, you can really smell the wood. Really smell the wood. Wow. It's pretty nice. Hold on. Okay, people. So I'm in the house now. So remember when we started? Well, this is how we're ending. We're coming to an end with it. Right? The landlord's daughter was saying there's a secret door. Right? She's seen some light. So maybe that's it up there. Right? There's the door right there, people. That's the secret door. So anyway, can really, really smell the wood. Right? This wood, much of it is still pretty good, really. But there's always that blue glove. All right. So it's been cleaned out pretty good. Look, we still got wire in here. Look at that. I'll let these guys come in here and take this little bit of wire if they want it. After it's said and done, there's not much, just a bit. Wow. What I'm doing here, I don't want the camera to fall. You see? I'm taking out some screws. I want the door locks and the door hinges from this door. And then this wood, it smells so good, people. It's a redwood. So I'm gonna scoop up on a few beams, right, so that I can continue building shelving in the back where the seedling room is, so I can grow these trees and whatnot, right? But I just wanted to show you where I am right now. You know, life has twists and turns, right? So hold on a minute. So now we got a bunch of guys out there working. So you can hear them doing a good job, right? Couple dollars here, couple dollars there. It helps when you need it, right? Okay, so this is what the fellas are doing, people. Right? There's the landlord. So he's really appreciative of these guys working hard, working in the rain. So there's 4 of them out here now. So I just wanted to show you that. Okay, people. So I'm up in the rafters now. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm taking the little bits of wire that's left because, like I said, there's still wire up here, right? That's wire right there. So, hold on. Oh, I don't even know if I was recording that. There's that secret door. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm up here on a ladder. I'm on a ladder, people. See? Taking out the little bits of wire that are still left behind. And I'll probably give it to the guys, right, that want it. Sometimes I use it for crafts, but anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just up in the rafters. Okay, people. So now we're almost done. Just a couple of hours tomorrow, and this baby's coming down. Somebody said we should have shipped it off to Calgary. Should have sold it, took it up off his foundation, and shipped it off to Calgary.
Yeah, I know that my cousin, that like 5-6 years ago, they sold it.
Uh-huh.
I don't know which one or who. They said the guy that come asking we can take this house. He said okay.
Uh-huh.
This guy take about like another 2-3 weeks to take a ticket.
Took the whole house, and
Yeah.
within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to factor in
Yeah.
when I write this fundraiser for $300,000. Maybe versus doing it this way, maybe we'll just take them up off their foundation and move them to another location because the wood inside
Yeah.
is a different kind of wood. And after all these years, people, oh, it smells so good in there. No mold, nothing. You can smell the wood. I think it's a red pine of some kind. It's something, definitely something different. All right. Okay, so anyway, now it's on to the chicken strips, right? They've been marinating since not yesterday, but the day before, because yesterday I was at the little house, right? Which you will see with this video. In the meantime, what I've done is I actually put the garlic in with the buttermilk and the hot sauce, and I marinated the chicken. So anyway, I'm not really following this. What I've done is 2 cups crushed Rice Krispies, 2 cups breadcrumbs, 2 cups flour, 2 teaspoons basil, 4 teaspoons oregano, 1 teaspoon salt so far, 4 teaspoons seasoning salt, and 1 to 2 fresh teaspoons of fresh dry sage. This was sage from my garden that I let it dry, and then you just rub it between your hands, and this is what you get. Right, this is what I'm going to bread that stuff with. And then I don't know what I did with the spoon. But anyway, I'll just use this one. And then you just stir it around. And then after you stir it, you kind of taste it, right? And see if you want something a little maybe more in there. Right, after it's all stirred up. So hold on a minute. Okay, so there's 2 ways of doing it. You can either bread it once. Right, I made just enough. I got 2 trays in the freezer. I gave some away to a friend. I've got a tray, just a small, like, pie pan tray of, for my son, which he wants me to cook up anyway. So I'm going to get another one of these things, because I got a bit there. Alright. You can bread it once, or if you want, you can throw it back into your solution. Some I am, some I'm not, just because I'm running out of this stuff. And I want to make sure I have enough, but if you want a little more crunchier, this is what you do. And then you put it back in there. These I'm just going to bake in the oven. Right, this is with brown meat and skin. We like skin. Right, the fat is good for you. Right, and then you can see, right, so you have a little bit more breading on there. That's the theory. Right. Yeah, and then get one more tray, and just put a little bit there. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I made just enough breading, people, and it smells really good, even though it's not cooked. Empty, right? Got 2 big trays in the freezer freezing, and gave a pie pan away for somebody else, like that size, right? With a bunch of them in there. So I'm going to pop these in the oven. Yeah, my son said, can you put them in the oven for me too? So I'm doing that. Hold on.